Greetings and salutations, this is Wolfphototech, and here we are with another delightful video. This time it is the Hero Points deck. I have to double check that because Paizo keeps switching between the term card. This is the bestiary card, bestiary battle cards, or Hero Points deck and stuff like that. They keep switching between the term cards and deck and the end of all their card products, and it's kind of disconcerting. But anyways, this MSRP is for $14.99. I do say that kind of feels expensive. This is a 52 card deck, so a 52 card deck of playing cards is like $4.99 or $9.99. This is $14.99. Yeah, that feels expensive, but we have to keep in mind that Paizo puts all their rules for free on the internet. Well, they don't put all free on the internet, but they allow for people to put all the rules for free on the internet. Paizo is not like Wizards of the Coast. They are not going to send the Pinkertons to your place to take cards from you or harass the crap out of you because you made an app that allows people to roll up put together their characters or anything. They are perfectly fine with you putting their rules on the internet. Probably the only thing that is not allowed is lore. You're not allowed to put lore on the internet, all their lore, because that's the one unique thing in their things. However, they don't really go after you for that either. It's just one of those things that they technically have the ownership of the lore, and it's the one thing they don't explicitly say, yeah, go ahead and put all this information on the internet. We'll even help you. But there you go. Now, this deck, first and foremost, this first card right here is rules and optional rules for the Hero Points cards. I have yet to read this through entirely, but it's kind of neat. This is the OGL card. At some point in the future, this is going to stop being included in the deck. And the Orc card is probably going to be... Orc license card is going to be included. This is an advertisement card denoting the spell cards, as well as the critical fumble deck. Critical hit deck, specifically. I would definitely look at my videos for the spell cards if you want, or if you're curious about those. I do, by the way, state that they are definitely worth looking into if you are a person who is new to Pathfinder 2nd Edition and wants to play. This is the back side of the Hero Points deck, and here's the front side of the Hero Points deck. Now, I've come across various implementation of these rules and some homebrew variants of these rules for the Hero Points deck. The Hero Points deck, I do have to denote, is an entirely supplemental deck. It is not a hard requirement to have when playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. However, it does add extra features and flavors to your game. So here you go. The Hero Points deck largely trigger the Hero Points cards when you start out playing. There is a few different ways people have used the Hero Points card deck in game. The standard way is that you take the deck, you shuffle it up, and you hand each player 2 cards, and you just set them down on their table. And they pick them up. They see what options they have for hero points. And then when they use a hero point, they use one of the cards from their pile. This ranges anywhere from 1 to 3 cards people hand out to each player. If you just have one card, you don't have very many options. There's times when, say, like critical moment, reroll the check twice and take the best result. This is a fortune effect. If you still fail this check, you become doomed 1. So there's a counter mechanism built into each one of these cards. Or Hold the line. Until the start of your next turn, each time an enemy would leave a space adjacent to you while using a move action, it must succeed on an acrobatics or athletics check against your fortitude DC or move action is disrupted. So, when you use a hero point, in an instance, you can pull one of these cards up, and you could use the effect as well as the normal effect of a hero point. So the favored way of doing this is oftentimes just taking giving each player 3 cards, having them sit on their table, and they look at them, and then they decide when they're playing which card they're going to activate when they use a hero point. But anyways, let's go ahead and read the actual rules card. At the start of each session, shuffle this deck. I just said that. Replace it with everyone. Place it where everyone will reach it. Wherever the GM could give you a hero point, including the one granted at the start of each session, draw a card from the deck instead. Don't reveal the card to the other players until you play it. Each card tells you when you can use it and what effect it has on the game, but you can also spend a card for any one of the standard hero point effects. Remember that if you're forced to spend all of your hero points, usually to avoid death, you must spend all the cards as well. These cards don't use any of their cards of actions or reactions, although some might allow you to spend future actions in the special activity. If the deck runs out of cards, shuffle the discarded piles to create a new deck. At that end of each session, all hero points cards are returned to the deck. You get a new card at the start of each game. So that's the standard way they supposedly suggest you use it. And I'm going to turn off my TV. And that is how they use it. However, people, as I said before, will oftentimes use the 3-card method where they pull out 3 cards. They shuffle the deck, they hand out 3 cards, and people already have the 3 cards sitting out on their table by them. And then when they get hero points, then they could use those cards when it's applicable by using the hero point as well. There's optional rules here. For this, your group can use the hero point cards in the game in a number of ways. Discuss the following optional rules as a group before implementing them at the table. The cards are revealed to the group as the table as soon as they are drawn. The player can trade them. Instead of dealing out the cards to each player, turn 3 cards face up on the start of a session and place them at the center of the table. All players can use these cards by spending their hero points. Discard the cards as they are used and draw a replacement to ensure that 3 cards are always available. Players can keep 1 hero point card at the end of each session, but it counts as one of their cards at the start of the next game. Turn the top card of the deck over so that a player can see what they might earn by performing a heroic deed. And those are the optional rules. And you obviously notice that people have already started remixing some of those optional rules with the regular rules and then adding a few extra variants to that to get a new effect. So the hero point deck is already built in counterbalances itself somewhat. This is a variant rule item or an optional rule item, so it's not necessary as I stated before. However, as I read a few of the cards, you've already got a general idea what you might be in store for, like protect the innocent. Play when an incapacitated ally or non-combatant NPC within sight takes damage from an attack or an effect. Prevent all of the damage. You take half of the damage, so you prevent all the damage for your friend. You take half of the damage yourself, in addition to the damage you would normally have taken from the attack or effect, if any. You can only use this to prevent damage to an ally if that ally is unable to act, such as when they are unconscious or paralyzed. So if you got someone that are knocked on the ground and they're making the rolls to recover, you can basically throw your body in line of attack to completely negate all the damage they would receive, but you would take 1.5 times the damage that you would normally have taken if you were to be hit by the attack as well. And so there you go. Another one is Stoke the Magical Flame. Stoke the Magical Flame. Play when you or an ally is casting a spell. Heighten that spell by 1 level. This can't heighten a spell above the highest level of spell you or your ally can cast. So some of these hero point cards have drawbacks. You have a boost, and then it also takes something from you. Where some of these hero point cards, it's just pure boost, but you have a ceiling. So there you go. I definitely say that this would be an interesting item to use in a Pathfinder game. However, I have yet to use this because the Pathfinder games I would be running, it's all with all new people to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And typically a good idea for Pathfinder 2nd Edition is when you start playing a new system, you generally want to, when you start playing or game mastering a new system, it's generally a good idea to not homebrew a ton of rules. The general advice is you learn as many of the rules as you can, and then when you get into a situation where you don't know the rules or a rule, if it's possible, someone could point you to the proper rule very quickly. It would be good to use the proper rule. However, if it takes more than a few seconds to do so, or someone just doesn't know the proper rule besides the Game Master, the Game Master quickly adjudicates a solution for the moment, denotes that it is a temporary solution, and at a later point researches after the game what the proper solution is, and then brings it to the table in the next session. So that is the general advice for that. And this is an optional variant rule right here. So this is something I have yet to manage to use, because as I said before, all the times I've ever had any fun time with Pathfinder 2nd Edition to play or jam for anyone, it's always been with new people, and it's one of those quick pickup games like a one-shot or something, and that's basically it. And it's just never gets to the point where I start putting in the critical fumble deck, or the chase card deck, or the hero point deck, or the critical hit deck, because as I said, those are all variant rule card decks. And feel free to check out those videos, and thank you very much for watching. My guess is that considering that Paizo does a really good job of balancing stuff, this is probably fairly balanced from what I've read through paging through it a few times. So, but it will cause little swings in power here and there. So it has the potential of being between a 3.5 star item to a 4-star item. I'm not sure if it's better than 4 stars. And that's a preliminary score. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, a magnificent month. And if you truly did enjoy this video, please share it around and like it and comment in the section below. And if you use these cards in your deck, please tell me how you use these cards in your deck, in your game. Thank you very much, and have a delightful day.